Welcome to the after party. Welcome to the after party. Did you bring some snacks and treats? I hope you got me something to eat. Welcome to the after party. Coming to the after party. I've been waiting here all day to act like a fool this way. Welcome to the after party. Join us in the after party. Oh, shocking and dabbing, maybe some microphone grabbing at the after party. Oh, hi. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the after party, everybody. Hope everybody's having a good weekend so far. We have lots of people here today. We have our regular guest here. We have Omega in the house, who is are you still living in this area? You haven't moved to Richmond
Yeah,
yet,
probably by the end of probably near either the end of December or January. This might be completely different.
Okay. We also have 3Dub here. He was supposed to be here on the other night, but he didn't answer his DM when I sent it over to him.
I was at dinner.
And then we have Lance from Geek Drums, is a former series regular who has his own show now, so he's busy doing that. But you're busy doing so many things. I don't even know, like, your schedule is.
My schedule is it's packed for this month, so yeah.
And I moved everybody, like they haven't said anything, but I shifted everybody from where they were before we started, so like everyone is in a different box except for me, which I think is pretty funny.
Like party nation at the bottom and after party up top.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we had a pretty packed week for content. I mean, we've had, let me turn this light on over here. So we have a trailer we're going to look at for Echo, which, by the way, didn't expect it to be as lit as it is. Like, I honestly did not.
Right?
I haven't seen it yet, so this will be my general
your reaction here. I don't think people were prepared for that trailer, honestly. I know I wasn't. I was not ready for that. So we're going to look at that, but that may get cut out if YouTube smacks me in the hand. That trailer may disappear from this live stream. So if you're not here watching live, where are you? Oh, you might be working or something, but where are you? I don't know. Then we're going to talk about the new Marvel Spotlight series, which I think is a really good idea. We'll talk about that after we watch the trailer. Then we are going to move through Invincible season 2 episode 1. We're going to talk about that. Wow. We're going to talk about Loki's episode this week, which we've got a few things to discuss from that one, but that one isn't quite as full of stuff as like the other shows are. So I think the finale is going to be bonkers, but we'll see when we get there. And the Gen V finale, which yeah exactly.
No words.
Yeah, no words. So we have a lot to do today, so we're going to kind of move through things quickly here. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to watch the Echo trailer together from beginning to end. If you are watching this on playback, and this is very important, it's probably gone. It's probably missing. You're not having a moment or anything like that. If YouTube comes in and deletes this, strikes it, says you have to delete this, I will, but we will talk about the trailer after we watch it. So you may not be able to watch it with us, but you will hear our thoughts on the trailer when we're done. So let's go ahead. We're going to pull the trailer up now. And I got to be honest, before we even get started with this, I was not prepared for the level of like violence the show is going to have in it. I mean, this is going to be quite a heavy series.
Yeah, I haven't seen this yet, so this will be my genuine reaction.
Well, get ready.
TVMA.
I actually think this show went from like completely no one caring about it to like jumping up to like the top of a lot of people's list. There's also some controversial stuff made by the show, comments made by the person, the executive producer, I think, for the series. Maybe I think it's the writer. I don't know for sure. We'll talk about the comments and then we'll discuss that as well. All right, so let's watch the trailer and hopefully everybody can hear this. Just say like Kingpin in this trailer is all right. Here we go.
Maya. I see everything that you are.
There's the
I
man.
always have.
He deserves this.
You know that hurts.
He deserved
Oh.
this. He deserved this.
God damn.
It's not over yet.
Don't be afraid. You have so much pain in you. You. So much rage. That you can't contain it.
Yeah, Omega.
Yeah, damn.
You and I are the same. So,
Jesus Christ.
who's the monster?
My goodness.
Okay, I'm gonna admit, I was like, okay, Echo, yeah, she was cool in Hawkeye and everything. I really don't. It's not an X-Man. I really don't care. Okay, now I care.
Yeah.
This is just female John Wick. Holy shit.
The answer to that question is yes, that was Daredevil. That was Daredevil jumping across that desk in that scene or whatever in the OG costume.
Yep. In the red suit. Another thing of note is do not expect her comic book powers. They are giving her all the powers that come from her ancestors. So it will be like she'll have different powers at different points in the show.
Yeah, I was about to say, wasn't she like a Native American?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay,
yeah, but her
that's
powers
cool.
in the comics were sort of like Taskmaster, where she could like copy someone's
They
abilities
said
or
that was
whatever.
boring.
And to be honest, I know that comes off disrespectful, but to be honest, in a TV show setting, it might not have been a really exciting thing.
Yeah,
to
some
give
things
her.
work for comics, some things don't work for TV. So yeah, if it's a cool change, I
and
don't
Black Widow.
Yeah.
Right. So I understand why people are upset about it because I'm sure there's people that love Echo from the comics that wanted her to have the same powers. I get it. I'm not trying to change y'all's mind about it, but the person that's putting it together says they want to give her more exciting powers and she's going to get something more tied to her Native American heritage.
Yeah, I'm usually not too jazzed when they change from the comics either, but if it works and it's cool, hey, I got no issue.
So
see, look, Hell's Bell didn't even
was...
know that she had powers. So like, yeah, it's just
I didn't even hear about this character until Hawkeye show. So
Omega, you didn't like the change from Spider Sense to Peter Tingle.
It's the same thing, just worded differently, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the deal. That looks fucking great to me.
Okay.
I cannot wait for that series. Let me explain to you why I think this is going to eat people up inside. Because I think this is going to end up being, it's going to feel like a Netflix show. That's what I think. People were not expecting how violent this was going to be. They were not expecting how hardcore it's going to be. Plus, it is going back to the old school Netflix days of dropping all the episodes at one time.
Oh,
so you can binge the series all the way through. And on top of that, and this is where it gets really cool, apparently Marvel is creating a spotlight division of their media now. And what this is essentially the Netflix shows, because they're saying that they're going to be telling stories in shows that drive the narrative of the show and don't necessarily tie into the movies.
Yeah, it's like if it ties into the movies, hey, cool, but let this be its own thing.
Right.
Yeah, I'm with that.
So in other words, Echo could show up in a movie, but her series is not going to lead into a movie.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. Because the experiment that they tried sounded good, but it didn't work for every show. Some shows did not benefit. Does that make any sense? Like I think some shows didn't benefit from that.
If I wasn't a hardcore MCU fan, I wouldn't watch WandaVision and to Doctor Strange. I would have only watched Doctor Strange because it was a film.
So I think the thing is that they are going, hey, we're going to give you shows that tell stories within that show that you don't have to like watch something else. You know what I mean? Like, of course, if you watch Daredevil on Netflix, you're probably going to love seeing the OG Daredevil with this, with the suit and everything. I also think what this is going to do is it's going to bridge the gap from the MCU Daredevil variant to the Daredevil TV show, where, because we weren't sure how similar that character was going to be. I think we're going to get that answer in Echo. I think Echo is going to answer that question on how similar he is. If he's wearing the OG suit, I'm already on board. Like I'm already there. I'm like, okay, let's do it.
And I wasn't a huge Daredevil fan until the TV series. So maybe an Echo fan as soon as this comes out. Who knows?
A lot of people told me that Daredevil was a character they didn't care about in the comics until they saw the show, and then they were like, "That's my favorite superhero. Like that's my favorite character."
I mean, it was always Cyber's favorite character, but I was like, yeah, he's cool and all, but it's not an X-Man, so who cares?
I actually like the team up comics more than the solo comics because you know Devil teams up with like Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, some other heroes.
Okay, so I disagree. I think that Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin is going to steal the show. To be honest, I mean, I want Echo to be the star, but he's one of those actors. Like I used to watch him on Law and Order, is where I remember like seeing him first. He's amazing. He's an amazing actor. He's one of those actors that everything I've watched him in, like The Cell, everything he's been in has been just absolutely incredible. Which is why I think him and Charlie Cox were so good together on Daredevil, because both of them, there's chemistry between them. And having them back feels so good. Like I know that these aren't the exact same characters, but I still feel like the energy between them is going to be good, you know? Cody says he apparently not in this much. Even just give me one episode of him and I'm happy about it. Like I really, really just love his character. So yeah, totally excited about that. So what do you guys think about this Marvel Spotlight thing? Let's go through everybody and give everybody a chance to talk about this before we move on to the next topic. Marvel Spotlight, individual shows that don't tie into the movies. Good, bad. How do we feel about it?
I think initially it's going to be good. I would probably like for some things to be tied in. It doesn't have to. If it does, cool. If not, hey, that's cool too. So I'm just, like I always say, I'm kind of a wait and see. Hope it's good. Cautious optimism.
What about you, 3Dub?
I think it's a good idea because it'll give us more opportunity to dive into those heroes that we will probably never see in a movie that can't be like. They have to be in like a team, but they can't shine because they're not in like a film like with other heroes.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good idea.
Actually, I think also you could look at something like Moon Knight, like a Marvel Spotlight, because it didn't really connect to anything outside of the show. What about you, Lance? Is there any character you'd like to see in the Marvel Spotlight that we haven't seen yet, or someone that you think would work?
Honestly, like I know what like Sony is doing with their whole Spider Universe stuff, but seeing as we hear the rumors about basically like everything in Marvel being canon to the multiverse, I'd like them to take like some liberties and bring in some of those characters, like do a spotlight episode with Silk or something like that. Do a spotlight episode with some of these other characters that we don't necessarily see like Nova. Give us one about Nova. Okay. Give us one about some of these like more cosmic characters, Blue Marvel, stuff like that. You know, bring in some of those more obscure characters that we don't hear about.
Like, I would love for them to bring Luke Cage back for like a one season.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, definitely.
Like, bring back Mike. Bring back Luke Cage. Give us a one season spotlight for him and just wrap up the story or whatever we're going to do. I would totally be okay with that. Yeah, I would love that
recast Iron Fist.
Honestly, I'm a hot take. I didn't think.
Wait. Pay attention to what Omega's going to say here. What's your hot take? Come on.
I didn't think the guy that played Iron Fist, I didn't think it was that bad. They had a bad writer, possibly bad direction, bad choreography, but the guy himself, I don't think he was that bad.
That is a hot take.
He was just kind of done dirty, but I don't think he was that bad.
Look, I like Finn Jones. I think he's a good actor. I think that obviously Scott Buck is a awful showrunner, and what he did with season 1 of Iron Fist was
not in good hands. So he did the best what he could with what he got. So.
I think the best. Yeah, go ahead, 3Dub.
It felt like a Oliver Queen, just like more lighter.
Yeah. So I've got even maybe a milder take. Maybe this isn't a hot take. I think Iron Fist in the Defenders, even though the Defenders wasn't good, I think he was a better character in the Defenders show than he was on his own show. And I think that's because Finn Jones' version of Iron Fist works better in a group setting than he does by himself.
Yeah,
I also...
go ahead.
Go ahead. The fight with Daredevil?
Like in that fight scene with Luke Cage was awesome.
Oh, I like the fight scene with him where Daredevil handed his ass to him.
Okay.
The fact that he had such a ego and a chip on his shoulder, and he was like, "Oh, I am the Iron, I'm Iron Fist. I'm the best ever." Blah blah blah. And Daredevil's like, "Okay, hold my lunch for a second. Let me show you what a real fighter could do." And that's when everybody was saying, like, he's the most gifted fighter they've ever seen, Daredevil, in terms of like just an individual fighter. And like in the comics, Iron Fist is like top tier hand to hand. Like him and Shang-Chi, I think, are like at the top of the list of like Marvel hand-to-hand fighters. But people forget Daredevil is good too. And the fact that he was able to basically like take Iron Fist down a peg was kind of cool.
In the comics, Daredevil can actually go toe-to-toe with Spider-Sense.
Oh, because of his abilities?
Yeah, he can lay a punch on Spider-Man even though he's sensing it.
Yeah.
Been doing your homework, 3Dubs?
No, I literally read every single Spider-Man comic. So
shit, everyone.
Wait. Which ones? Miles Morales or Peter Parker?
Both. When they cross, I originally started with Peter Parker, and then I knew about Miles.
That was the setup.
No, I'm just saying. It's my guy right here, so I'm
not going to disagree, South Texas Shark. Like I said, I think Iron Fist, the Finn Jones's version of Iron Fist, works better in a group setting, and I think with Luke Cage, he was really good. By himself, it was awful.
In the Defenders, it was great.
Oh, it was, yeah, absolutely. I don't think we actually got Iron Fist until the Defenders happened. Like that first season was garbage. Finn Jones was good in terms of Danny Rand characterization, but since he couldn't learn the martial arts, yes, that's true. It was very obvious in season 1 that the fighting was lackluster. Yeah. Email Thomas says that take was hotter than the sun. I guess you're talking about your take.
The way he spelled Danny just made me picture like a female version of Danny Rand.
I was gonna say, yeah, exactly.
I was thinking another spotlight would be interesting is the female of the House of the Dragons or whatever.
Oh yeah, Daughters of the Dragon.
Daughters of the Dragons. That's
that'd be cool.
House of the Dragon.
The thing you don't watch yet.
We have a super chat here before we move into the next one. Jordan supporting the show, Team Airrick member Andy super chat. Shout out Jordan. That's a little horn they do at the clubs. I got into Daredevil because of the movie. I forgot about the movie. But the show is leagues better and made me like Daredevil more. Look, there's some people that love those Daredevil movies like that and then the Elektra movie. You remember the Elektra movie, guys? You remember the Elektra movie? Some people love that particular thing, you want to call it. The director's cut, I think people said, is really good. I wasn't a huge fan of it. I think Bullseye was funny in the movie. That's about it. And I don't think he should have been funny. He's a character that's not supposed to be funny, but yeah.
It was
Ben
so
Affleck
weird.
was playing Batman in a red suit.
True. You know, one thing I've noticed about what are you gonna say, Lance? You had an epiphany there?
I just came up with the best Marvel spotlight thing. Some people may hate me for this, but you know how we're always talking about how Spider-Man could work with long form storytelling like on TV but live action. Hear me out, don't judge me. Tom Holland, but he's not playing Peter Parker. Tom Holland is playing Ben Reilly. We get the Clone Saga.
Scarlet
Give
Spider,
give us the live action Clone Saga with Scarlet Spider just trying to figure out his way around life. Except this time, he has all the memories of what happened in No Way Home. He has nothing. He doesn't have anybody to rely on. He still has to leave. He tries to find Peter. That does not work. He doesn't have Aunt May to fall back on. He doesn't have his memory. He has his memories of Tony Stark, but he can't go to Tony because Tony's dead. He has to try to figure it out all on his own.
This sounds real.
That would be dope. I think that would be really dope. I think that would be really dope
would
just
it?
To explore in just like a
but
mini series.
Yes.
Okay. Have we ever we've never had live action Clone Saga.
Let me ask you a question. How many episodes would this be?
It doesn't have
how many episodes could you make this story work in, honestly?
Honestly, no more than 10. No more than 10.
Okay. All right.
I will say
just
that
a mini series.
Had a live
not the
action
CW's 23.
No, I know just said that.
A
good
version,
a good TV show version.
Not the one where said a good version. I'm like flashback to that.
How many live action Spider-Man have we had? By the way, I will say, if we don't get it in live action, I would love it in the style of like Across the Spider-Verse, Into the Spider-Verse, like that type of
give us the Andy Samberg, Ben Reilly all day.
Ooh, okay. All right, before we move into our reviews of the 3 episodes this week, I do briefly want to talk about Superman and Lois moving into its final season. I know Omega doesn't watch it, so he doesn't really care too much, but 3Dub, what are your thoughts on this? Because I know you're a huge Superman fan. So what are your thoughts on it?
Continue.
So yeah, I'm extremely happy that it's concluding instead of trying to test the waters of how because Nexstar doesn't want to do superhero shows, so I think it's a good idea to end it while it's hot. So until instead of like finishing season 4 and then Nexstar going, hey, guess what? We're canceling you.
Mm-hmm. And they would. Yeah. That is exactly what the CW does.
They from what I can tell of what they're trying to do is they don't want drama shows like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock shows, like we had before. So they're like trying to delete the, and get like shows that that are on another network and then gain money from them to show on theirs.
They just greenlit 2 dramas.
Yeah, what are they, Lance? I saw the post from Discussing Film. What are they? Say the names of them.
I don't know the names. They're so pointless though. I'm like, you got rid of shows doing exactly what these shows are doing right now.
Yeah.
And you just bring back stars from the other shows to do.
Can I just take a moment to remind everybody what the CW stands for? CBS and Warner Brothers. And now they have almost no CBS or Warner Brothers shows on their network.
Oh, that the guy from One Tree Hill is in a new series on the CW. They're bringing back Chad and Michael Murray.
Yeah. Dino says it's kind of crazy how DCTV started Superman is ending with Superman. Yeah.
Yep.
I should know. I'm a Smallville fan.
Crazy Cat Lady with a $5 super chat. Shout out to Five Nights at Freddy's. Says I love Five Nights at Freddy's. And so we got Mobius on a jet ski finally. I know we're going to talk about that in a moment. But yeah, so I have not seen the whole movie yet. I started watching it and didn't finish it. Has anybody watched all of Five Nights at Freddy's yet or no?
I don't know what it's about.
First 2 games. That's about it.
It's about a video game.
Like something about
you don't know anything about Five Nights at Freddy's video game. It's a real simple concept.
It's something about the little animatronics have the souls of dead children in them,
and they come to life and murder the people that watch the building. Yes.
How do you make a how and why would you make a film about that?
I'm as confused as you are.
They're bored.
Apparently, it's good though.
I've heard that people that love the game love the movie, and if you've never played the game, you find the movie to be kind of boring. That's what I've heard from people. So I don't know.
Yeah, I played the first 2 games, and I watched Markiplier. I played the 3rd one. So,
however, just like any horror movie, They're cheap to make, and they make a lot of money at the box office because
especially
apparently
around Halloween.
Yeah, it's already made 150. I think 150 million on a $30 million budget. So I'm not really shocked about that, to be honest. Anyway, all right. So with that being said, we're going to move into our reviews, and we're going to start out. We're going to have spoilers here, by the way. So if you haven't seen any of these, please tread carefully.
I've not seen Loki yet, but I don't care. I don't care about spoil. Like you said earlier, I was busy. Okay. I watched Gen V.
So
I watched Gen V. I watched Invincible.
If you don't care about spoilers, all you have to do is try and keep up with the conversation. That's all you got to do.
Okay.
All right, but we're going to start out with Invincible. That's the first thing we're going to talk about. Invincible is back, and oh my goodness.
Why is they about to do the multiverse better than Marvel?
Better than DC. I love this show so much, and I forgot how much I loved it. When the Adam and Eve special came out, I was reminded about how good that universe was. But I was not prepared. I was not ready for this episode. So we have Angstrom Levy from the comics showing up with multiversal versions of himself. Now, if you don't know who this is from the comics, he's a character that can open portals to other dimensions, just like we saw in the episode. The one thing about Invincible is it's very close to the comics, almost identical to the comics in terms of characters.
Some things are left out, but no problem.
Because they try to make the story work within a TV show format or whatever. He's basically imagine like a thinker / brainiac /
he's a non-violent king.
Yeah, pretty much. But we start out in his universe at the beginning of the episode because I was lost. I was like, what's going on? Why is Invincible and Omni-Man just outright murdering folks? Like,
actually, I don't think that was his universe. I think that was one of his variants universe.
Right. Okay. So that's fair enough. Yeah, it was his variant. So.
I was if I didn't get the context from someone that watched the comics or read the comics, I would have noticed that it was a different universe because there's no freaking time card.
Right. So we see this world where basically Omni-Man has succeeded in taking over Earth with the help of his son, preparing for their invasion, the Viltrumite invasion of Earth, and to become part of their empire. And to be quite honest, I was like, what have I missed? What happened here? Because they're just like, again, outright killing people. I didn't really catch on to it until we saw Adam Eve with short hair. And I'm like, oh, wait, this can't be our world. Is this like a time jump or what is happening here? And then we meet Angstrom there, who disappears through a portal because I guess the other version pulls him through to create this council of Kangs with his, with his own self. But we have that going on, and that sort of reminds us just how brutal Omni-Man is. And, because you see Invincible fighting with the Immortal at the beginning.
Wait, Omni-Man just takes the Immortal out, like, goodness gracious.
Yeah, pretty much. So we have that happening. My question is, do you think we're going to see those versions come back?
I think so.
The ones from that Earth, you think we'll see them show up again?
Too sure, honestly.
I think we might see a variant of them appear on the one that's supposed to be a hero. So it's going to be like Invincible versus Invincible.
They are good, but they're super spoilery. Because if you read Invincible comics by like the third or fourth run, you'll know more than the show is.
I actually tried to get the comics from years ago, about a year ago, from the game store down the street from me. The dude was like, "Yeah, as soon as the show came out, we sold out."
Yeah, no, it's great. But then we jump over to our world and we see, that Mark is having issues, dealing with being a hero and everything that's happened to him. He's got PTSD from dealing with what happened with his dad. Who wouldn't? Like, what the fuck?
No, goodness. It's just such a brutal fight. He had a subway. He ran him into a subway. So yeah, that's gonna mess you up.
And there's no closure because Omni-Man left.
Nope. Yeah.
So it's just one of those situations where he's struggling with that. And then his mom, obviously, I mean, her husband ended up being this like
20 years, and she was just a pet to him.
really, really, really messed up situation. And without spoiling the comics, it just gets worse. It just gets worse and worse and worse. But so they're dealing with that, and you know, Cecil doesn't want Invincible flying around being Superman. He wants to be able to control him. And I don't know how I feel about Cecil as a character. How do you guys feel about him? Because in season 1, he sort of came across like this, like, I know better than you type situation. And I don't want to believe that, but the reality is that he kind of has been right about almost everything. Yeah. So how do we feel about him?
I think he has a bigger agenda than he's letting on right now. I think he wants to be able to get Invincible on his side to where he can keep a closer eye on him, because
he's essentially trying to control Superboy. I mean, that's really what he's doing at this point.
My biggest like, what the heck happened is you see the his site or his apprentice, his associate, you know, the one that's supposed to be dead there, alive, because he was blown up.
Yeah, I'm saying right. It's a clone. They either he has the powers of duplicate, or they just clone him.
What do you think?
It's not even the fact that he was blown up. It's the fact that Omni-Man literally grabbed his back
by the spine
and just squeezed, and all the blood was just like, I'm like, how are you standing up right now? And I don't think Cecil. I agree. I wholeheartedly agree with Cecil, because one, Mark, you weren't ready. When you were out doing what you were doing earlier, you looked like super depressed. Like,
I
think
your head's not there. When you go through something like that, it doesn't matter how much time has passed, and it's only been like what, a month. No matter how much time has.
Yeah, it's been a short time. Yeah.
No matter how much time has passed, that's still gonna haunt you. That's still gonna affect you, from you knowing what the Viltrumites, what your people are like meant to do, what they really do. That's gonna be in the back of your mind. Like, no matter
like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that buried in the back of my mind? Am I going to end up like my dad? Yeah.
So like, I get it, and Mark further proved Cecil's point. Like, bro, like, you just used your powers in public and you smashed the whole table because you're mad because he's telling you no.
Right.
So now that you have to go back and do it, you're literally under the thumb of Cecil, because, well, he has to keep an eye on you. He has to be able to neutralize you if need be. That's why the Immortal doesn't like you. 1, because of your dad. 2, because you can turn out like your dad. 3, the Immortal just seems like a dick anyway.
True. Yeah,
he has like 1,000 years of.
I think he's supposed to be like Thor, right? He's supposed to be like a Thor type character, I believe, without the hammer. Yeah.
I don't think
wasn't he Abraham Lincoln?
Yeah, he was Abraham Lincoln. No, but I don't think Cecil is as ruthless as Amanda Waller, but if it came down to it, he would do the same thing as she would. I think he has the countries and the planet's interests. He's putting their interests first. He has their best. What's the word I'm looking for? Their concerns first, and he's willing to do anything to protect them. If he has to do some foul shit, God damn it, he's going to do some foul shit. Just to
I also have to say, he to me, like, in terms of like somebody with like confidence, he feels like the only person that has ever stood up to Omni-Man, and he literally has no powers.
Nope.
None.
A little teleporter. And
in a lot of ways, in a lot of ways, that gives me Lex Luthor vibes, because Lex Luthor always stood up to Superman, even though he had no powers. Lex in no iteration that I can remember of Lex has he ever been afraid of Superman.
Or like Stan Edgar in Homelander.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, Lex Luthor always knew what Superman was capable of, and that's why he wasn't afraid of him. And I think Cecil is kind of similar here. We also get to see the Guardians fighting against the Giant, which is like, this character is really like
8-year-old.
Yeah, so stupid there. But we can see that they're not working well together. They're still sort of fragmented. They're not as cohesive as the Justice League. It's like having the Teen Titans come in and take over for the Justice League, and not totally knowing what to do. What do we think about individual? Go ahead.
I I forgot Robot was now like a kid inside the suit.
Oh, you
now.
forgot about that
Yeah, he's
creepy
in the suit.
storyline about why he did that? You forgot about
Yeah,
that?
I forgot when he jumped out the suit. I said, "Whoa, what's happening?" But then we ain't seen this since like
since like
2021.
Yeah, even Monster Girl was like, "Yeah, I'm cool with this."
Yeah,
I'm like, I forgot all about that.
You know, the apprehension to call in Invincible was because he knows that Mark is still struggling. So they decide that they're going to bring in Immortal as the team leader, because you know he's been waiting for that role forever. Like, that dude has been waiting on the sidelines for thousands of years to become the leader of somebody's team, and finally they call him in because he's got and to be clear here, if Omni-Man isn't around, he is the next most powerful character, I believe. So having him as the team leader from that regard makes sense. But then we have a guy from in the comics. I don't think anybody's prepared for the storyline. I don't know if they're going to do the storyline, but we have Bulletproof, and the storyline from the comics with that character gets really dark. So
I don't remember.
It's got to deal with the twin brother and pretending. It's a lot of stuff.
I only seen a few panels of that, so I really don't remember.
He's basically someone who wanted to be a superhero and used science to get his powers.
So he's Booster Gold.
Yes, but he's actually got powers. It's not a suit. He actually has powers. But the name Bulletproof is basically Invincible. It's just he wants to be like that character, right?
Yeah, I gotcha.
He's not a bad character. It's just his storyline gets very, very, very dark. So we have those two characters coming in. I can see already this is going to be a problem for that team for the rest of the season, because you're going to have Rexplode and Bulletproof going at each other, obviously. And Immortal kind of telling everybody what they're going to do. I'm waiting for Battle Beast to come back. Just bring Battle Beast back.
Yes, please bring back Battle Beast.
Him back, because I'll tell you right now, that story from the comics is legit as fuck, and I cannot wait for Battle Beast's return. Because if anybody's going to give it to Omni-Man, it is going to be Battle Beast, and I cannot.
And he's voiced by Michael Dorn, aka Worf. Oh God, yes.
He better make an appearance this season. That's all I got to say.
I hope so.
How do we feel about the team moving forward with these characters? We feel good about it. We feel bad about it.
They're absolutely effed.
Yeah, I agree. I think so.
And I don't think they're going to get it together in time.
I'm looking forward to see what they're going to do with this, in this situation. Then we have the Mauler clones, who are locked up and then get teleported out by Angstrom.
I just think it was funny how does look, man, it was no hard feelings. If we didn't like you, you'd be dead.
Right. I like these characters.
Yeah,
I don't know. They feel to me like, I don't know if they fit into the box of a specific like parody of another character. I mean, because they are like the Hulk, but then they're also like Multiple Man, but then they also are really smart, like Bruce Banner. I don't really know what box.
Yeah, they're kind of like twin smart Hulks, I guess.
Yeah. I love their banter though, because when they talk to Angstrom and they find out about everything that's going on, and one of them is like, I never saw this coming, and the other one's like, that's because you're the clone.
You're the clone.
I was like, that's fucking hilarious to me. Like, I love that fucking line so much. That just so good. But we find out, that he needs them to basically build, or he built the machine that doesn't work. It's a brain transfer machine. And he needs them to fix it because it keeps overloading. It won't work.
Yeah, basically he's basically trying to run. He's trying to run Cyberpunk on like a 1995 Packard Bell.
But I love it that all they did was pull off the front of the system, and they're like, they knew right away what the problem was. It was just so funny to me. As soon as I saw this, I was like, this is some evil shit. As soon as I saw this giant Christmas tree of like
he's gonna put all of themselves in there and absorb all of their knowledge. Like, this is, and your other cells are okay with this,
right? I don't even know how they came to this conclusion or whatever. This was gonna work, but while this is going on, it's generating all this power, and Cecil sees it and says, "Look, we need Mark, who's now decided that he's gonna work with us to go out and look at this." I knew this was a bad idea. I saw this coming a mile away. I was like, he's not going to be able to handle the situation. Not because I was worried about the Mauler clones hurting him or whatever, But just the simple fact that he's just still not ready.
Yeah, he's going to do something, overload something, break something, and it's just going to cause even more collateral damage, which is kind of what happens.
What did you think about all the alternate versions of Maulers, like the ones that we saw?
The smaller sisters, that was funny.
I thought it was hilarious that like they're like he can't be invincible. Then he proved like, yeah, he is. You all literally were punching and trying to stomp him to death, and well, look who died.
Right. The explosion happened, and guess what?
It was
First of all, can we talk about?
Go ahead.
What 3 dubs? Huh? Three
I
dubs?
was kind of like, it's going to be kind of funny that they, instead of like before they say Invincible and the tire car comes up, it was just Invincible.
They should have did
that.
Yeah,
last season, every time they said Invincible, it was just splashed to the title card. This time they'll just say he's Invincible. No title card. Okay, fine.
But I mean, I do get it though. Like the whole thing with Angstrom, what he's trying to do, because he's trying to prevent what happened on his world and several other worlds. Apparently, he's trying to prevent that from happening because, well, if Omni-Man and Invincible decided to go just like batshit crazy, and kill everybody, that would be terrible. But
it would be.
you've given them like, okay, you're using your powers. You get to the wrong Earth, they could figure out how to like beat you mercilessly and use your powers like against your will, and they could go to other worlds and potentially you can have like a legion of Invincibles or a legion of Omni-Mans, and they could decide to take over the whole world. So with that, I've decided that Angstrom is the dumbest smart guy ever because
yeah, I thought of that too.
First of all, you decide to do this. You didn't go to an abandoned planet. You went to the one planet where they have an organization that can literally monitor anything and send their heroes out. You didn't think about that?
All these other worlds where they might not even have heroes in some of the worlds. Like you could have gone to any of the other ones. What's up, Gwendolyn? Good to see you. Darth Bunyan says, when you get to it, I'm dying to know what you made of OB's speech to Loki as repercussions you have for the MCU going forward. We're getting there now. We're about to get there. Even though Lance hasn't seen it.
And I binge watched everything today.
Yeah.
I was watching Goosebumps. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I heard that's pretty good.
It is. And I thought the finale was yesterday. Turns out I was so wrong. And they played it like that. The fact is, the episode plays like it's the finale. But then they were like, next time on Goosebumps, I said, what the hell?
So we end up with a situation where the Immortal doesn't trust Mark. And
does he look fat to you guys?
Who, Immortal?
Yeah.
Some extra thickness, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like I was like, are they making him bigger now? Like,
I think they're trying to make him look bulkier, like more muscular,
like
but it's just
strongman builds. They're like super ripped. But
to me, he looks like a cross between Omni-Man and like Mauler. That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
So in terms of size, but I don't know. But he's right.
After the second death, I'm like, I can't get sad about you.
Right?
The Immortal, he keeps coming back. He keeps coming back. I enjoyed this first episode. I'm looking forward to the rest of the season. I think it's going to be really good. I think we're going to be screaming at our TVs a lot because of stuff that Angstrom is going to do. But yeah, I don't know. I really liked it. Nothing super negative to say about it. I think the cartoon series is great. Makes me miss Young Justice because I really love Young Justice as much as I love this. So I am really sad that that may not come back, most likely at this point. All right, so we're going to talk about Loki, season 2. What episode is this? 5? Is it episode 5?
Yeah, I think it was episode 5. Yeah.
Okay, so last week we had the explosion of the loom, and everything was supposedly gone, but then we find out that all it did was like create this weird situation where Loki's time slipping is now sending him through to different branch timelines, and we get to see a few people in their realities, like I don't want to say their proper world because we don't know. These are branch timelines, but we get to see Casey, who was locked up in Alcatraz, trying to escape, which I thought was quite funny. We get to see, I don't remember what her name was in her reality, but it's B-15. What was her name?
She was a doctor.
She was, but did she have a name? I don't remember what her name was now. I feel really bad, but
I wasn't looking down at her name tag.
Yeah. So she's a doctor in the 90s, I believe it was in the 90s. We also have Mobius now, who is a Ski-Doo jet ski salesman, which is
I guess that's why he likes jet skis.
Yeah, he's got a family with kids and everything, which makes all of this extra difficult for him.
Yeah,
we get to meet OB, who is a writer, but is also
a PhD scientist. So.
Yeah, so he's also a scientist, but he's also a writer. But he does science to pay for his writing, which is the funniest thing ever. And the warehouse that he has for all of his science experiments and stuff looks like the room from.
I know that. I was wondering if people were going to catch that. I was like, wait, this room looks so familiar.
Yeah. Darren says it's just B-15, I think. Yeah, I don't know if they said what the name was.
Her actual name, I don't forget. But just we know her as B-15.
Yeah. 2012 was actually B-15's timeline. Okay, thank you for keeping us on task, Cody. There was a lot of jumping around there.
You watch so much stuff I don't even remember.
But then we find out that Sylvie is back in her McDonald's timeline, but she actually remembers what happened, which leads me to believe that
Loki.
Right, that Lokis are immune to this. Now, this episode, there was a lot of jumping around trying to figure out how to get back to the TVA, because as far as Loki thought, everything was gone. And OB was trying his best to catch up on everything. And so it was kind of fun to me that once OB figured out how to use time travel, open the time portals or whatever, Loki was like, that was fast. He was like, oh, it was like 9 months because time travel, you know what I mean? You can jump around and travel and do whatever you need to do. And time doesn't matter. I'm totally confident saying that OB is absolutely my favorite character this season. Does anybody else feel that way?
Yeah, I was just talking to some people, and I was watching this one stream with people, and they were talking about Loki, and I was like, yeah, OB is my favorite character by far this season.
Yeah. He's so good. I'm so glad he's having a renaissance, and it's like the whole Brendan Fraser thing for him, where he's coming back and he's, in a lot of stuff.
I remember the last time I saw him was when he was about, I want to say like what, 12, 13 in Indiana Jones. And then now you see him here, because when I first saw him, I was like, wait a minute, is that Short Round from Indiana Jones?
Yeah, he's in everything now.
Yeah, now man's like 52 years old. I was like, goodness gracious.
So I just checked the episode where it shows her name tag, and they shot it so far back that it doesn't even matter.
Oh, you can't even see it.
So it's just B-15. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, we get a lot of cool imagery in the episode, and OB has a great speech with Loki trying to explain what's going on and why things matter, why they don't matter. And this is sort of setting Loki up for what we get at the end of the episode, because we start to see the spaghettification of time on different branch timelines. And it all sort of culminates to where they are, where Loki and Sylvie are, because they're both the kind of the remnants of all of this. And Lance is like, I didn't watch it, so I'm just going to sit back. They're doing the storyline from, I believe it was the most recent Young Avengers run, where Loki is the god of stories. I believe that's what they're doing. So
he blew his mind.
They're doing the god of stories?
Because Loki apparently now can warp time and reality, apparently. I mean, based on the end of the episode, that is the implication, is that Loki can do that. So,
oh my god,
because he literally takes everything that's happened and reverses it all the way back to the moment before Victor Timely goes outside to get turned into spaghetti, basically.
Disney
I think that's where we're back to. So
just log in to the website right now and watch it while you're talking.
Yeah, Loki's good, man.
So he's turning into that character, the version of Loki from that Young Avengers run.
God, he will literally have control of it. He will control people's fates.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what they're
what they're
leaning
alluding
toward.
to. Yeah.
So,
Oh my
kind of-
god.
Yeah, you gotta watch it, bro.
Oh my god, this makes so much sense with what the lady was talking about. This is how they're gonna bring back Tony Stark and Natasha. Oh my
god. So, I was thinking, because they rumored that they're going to bring Thor and Loki together again in the future. So I'm like, it's going to be a reverse. Like Thor's not going to believe him. Because of the fact that he has died so many times.
I want to point out that we have to remember that this Loki split off from the battle in New York. So this is the Loki before all of the other progression that Loki made in the MCU. So
Loki's
this one,
always destined to be a good guy?
Exactly. Yeah, this is a separate thing. Yeah. So very, very interesting. So Hell's Bell says they're going to make him the new He Who Remains if he's writing the stories now. I don't think that's what they're going to do. He may become like, I mean, if you mean in the sense of like running the TVA, maybe that might eventually be what happens with him. There's a character in Marvel Comics called the One Above All. And the One Above All is basically the real world, the people that write the stories.
It's the writers, the fans.
Right. So I think they might be turning this Loki, if you've ever read that run in Young Avengers, they're turning this Loki into the storyteller position where like he is aware of all of the stories that are happening in the different worlds. And that may make him so omnipotent that he doesn't interfere with anything. Sort of like the Watcher.
You know what this Loki reminds me of? Like if he's really going to be the god of stories, he kind of reminds me of Inkheart, the movie, where
yeah, I do remember that movie. Yeah.
With Brendan Fraser.
If we were right, if that is truly the story they're doing, yes, Loki would be the most powerful MCU.
Kind of.
At that point, look, I will say this with complete confidence. Characters that can change time and reality at a will, like just doing it, are almost unstoppable. Like you look at characters like Dr. Manhattan or Molecule Man or characters like that, where they warp reality at a level that a normal person just is unable to rationalize. They become so powerful. The reality is no longer something you even exist in. You exist in their reality, and it's whatever they want it to be.
And time slipping back and forth, and it's kind of like when we saw him time slipping before. We was wondering, oh my god, what's going on? Now it's like during this episode, it's kind of like he's subconsciously time warping, so time slipping himself without actually doing it.
Right. So when he was doing it in the first episode, he was actually doing it subconsciously.
So I'm trying to figure out is this like different from what Endgame did? Because
in what sense
of time travel?
Not so, no, because in Endgame they make it very clear that timelines branch, so I think it's still the same thing.
Okay.
Because they said that, like with the whole Infinity Stones or whatever, if you go and you take the Infinity Stones from the past, you're not taking them from your past timeline. You're taking them and creating a new branch timeline that they would no longer have the Infinity Stone. So I think it's just all separate. And time travel in the MCU is basically an alternate timeline, and it always will be. That's why the sacred timeline was such a weird thing, because what He Who Remains was doing was making sure that all of those differences got pruned so that he controlled that everything just flowed in one direction. We have a super chat here from Cody, $5 super chat. This is how Loki prevents the death of He Who Remains. Right. Yeah, this is what's going to happen pretty much.
I can see that.
But what that will do, the implication of that on the MCU moving forward, we're not sure what's going to happen. And also this means that we don't even know where Jonathan Majors would have fit into all of this once the season ends for Loki, because this is very important for the movies, even though it's a TV show. This is massively important.
I also kind of hope they figure out a way to do a backup plan too.
Yeah, the whole thing with Jonathan. Go ahead.
Either like shift it to Doom, Doctor Doom, or recast, or figure out a way to make a permanent recast of his face.
Yeah, I get that.
Well, for me, the best case scenario with Jonathan Majors is that they do absolutely nothing. Just let him just make the goddamn shows or the movies or whatever. Because why does Ezra Miller get the freaking get?
I mean,
we went through this before, so I'm not even going to go through it again.
To be fair, Feather Guardian, this would make Loki more powerful than any of the other gods in Asgard.
Yeah.
Like, he would be the most powerful god out of all of them. So, anyway, I love the episode. I thought it was really good. No complaints. I think Loki's moving along very swimmingly, and I'm happy about that. But now let's talk about the finale of Gen V, which was bonkers. I've seen people complaining about this. Let me tell you why they're complaining. Because they feel like the show didn't wrap up any storylines and everything sort of went like into cliffhanger mode. But I want to make it very clear here. We knew that this season would lead into season 4 of The Boys. And we also knew halfway through the season, we're getting a season 2 of Gen V. So why are we surprised that they left some stuff on a cliffhanger? I don't know.
Because people aren't smart. Duh.
Yeah, true.
People don't read actual, facts of what they're telling us.
We knew way before the season even came out that this was going to set up Boys season 4. They made that very obvious. It wasn't a big secret.
And then they said that they're going to Gen V got renewed for a second season. So yeah, they got more story to tell. So
right. So
complaining about.
In this episode, we have Kate and Sam that have decided that they're going to let everybody in the woods out. And I'm thinking, okay, these people should not be locked up. But I'm also thinking these people were locked up. So they're not going to come out and be like, thank you for freeing me. I'm just going to go live a free life now. No, they came out wanting revenge on everyone that had something to do with it. And they consider that to be everyone on campus who isn't a super.
Oh, yeah, that was just messed up. I was like, are you a soup? He's like, yeah, of course I am. He just lets him go. Then he has that t-shirt. Are you a soup? No, I teach such and such.
I'm just going to melt your face off,
I was like,
basically,
oh,
at that point. Were we shocked that this is what Kate and Sam did? I mean, I was not shocked at all. I would have, if you would have told me that Sam would have teamed up with Kate like 4 episodes ago, I would have been like, there's no way. But the last couple episodes has been very obvious that Sam has been radicalized and that Kate he's
in the alt-right pipeline.
Done with the bullshit.
Yeah, Kate's just tired of being used, and Sam, who's not all there, just got sucked into the alt-right pipeline.
Yep. And this just reported The Boys season 4 will take place just a few days after this finale.
That makes sense.
Yeah, not to mention the post-credit scene.
Yeah, I was thinking the post-credit scene probably is actually the 4 days. Like, that's the start of it.
That makes sense. With Billy Butcher.
We'll probably see that scene at the beginning.
Well, I wasn't trying to spoil it, but okay.
Well, I mean, we can jump around with it. I don't like when it comes to this, we're the finale. We can just talk about whatever we want here. We also found out that Andre's father, the reason why things were going south with him is his powers are actually killing him.
Yeah.
That hurt me. Like, I'm like, dang, that must suck. You can't use your powers or else you're gonna die. Like,
so try and rationalize this for me. What did they actually say was happening to him? Because I know they talked about it. Was it the neural pathways or something? It was a neurological situation.
Whenever he uses his powers, Temp V is just killing his brain.
Yeah, his brain is deteriorating from the inside.
And honestly, with their powers, that makes sense because it takes a lot of focus. And I can understand, like, moving like tiny metal objects or something,
right?
But like you're trying to ground helicopters, you're tossing trucks at people. Yeah, that takes a lot of focus and a lot of mental focus. And I guess just in this universe, those powers can take a toll on your body. Like with any power, that could take a toll on your body. Now, I wonder if it will be the same with like Marie's powers. Or like even cricket with that.
We also found out, if you think about it, like in maybe it was season 2. Which season was it where we had the issue where what's his name? God, why am I blanking out on his name?
Huey Butcher.
No. The Flash guy.
A-Train.
A-Train. Yeah. Where he was hurt, like physically hurt because of his heart and everything. So he couldn't use his powers.
He was abusing drugs.
No, I know, but I'm saying like we found in this world that like physical ailments do affect your ability to use your powers. So it shouldn't be surprising that like a neurological, degeneration of the brain would cause you to not be able to use your powers. Like it sucks, but it does make sense in the world of the boys. Because
like, how long does that take, and how long has this been happening? Is my question, because it's affecting Andre. It seems like way sooner than it affected Polarity, but
right.
Has Polarity just been hiding it, and it just so happened to come out in that interview?
That's a good point. Also, the other thing is Andre was a natural. Wasn't he born a super?
Yeah.
Maybe that might have something to do with it affecting him quicker than having V.
Just shoot me up, give me another power.
Yeah.
And their powers kind of remind me of Stargirl. What's the villain of the first season, where he's
Brainwave?
Brainwave. He had he could throw objects at Stargirl, kind of like how they can use mental focus to.
It's the same, but it's different. The way they're doing it is they're Magneto, but they basically emphasize the fact that it's still a telepathic power. Now, me personally,
said magnetic telepathy. Magnetic telepathy.
So telepathy.
That's what I was trying to get out.
So I mean, I get it, but honestly, I'm like, bro, like forget about the tossing metal crap. Like, live. You still have super strength. Using that's not killing you.
Yeah, people forget that all the supers in this world have some level of super strength and stuff. They're more durable than human beings.
The blows he was taking from Sam, I'm sitting there like,
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Did you forget?
Just taking them.
Like, did you forget you have super strength too? He's literally just not holding back. It seems like all Sam has is like exaggerated super strength. Like,
he's got rage powers basically.
That's because he just rages out. Like, he doesn't have powers. Like, he literally just has super strength. He hasn't exhibited any other power. So of course Kate would use the unhinged psycho.
Yeah.
Of course they'd be best buddies.
And I also had to laugh at the fact that we're getting a kind of Phoenix out of the person that can control people and do telepathy.
Oh, you're talking about Kate? Yeah. So I think of her more like the White Queen, like Emma Frost. That's kind of the vibe she gives me, even with the blonde hair and everything.
Kind of like Rogue Emma Frost type thing.
But I will say, Ashley being on campus trying to pick a new person for the 7, and then all of those people breaking out, that was one of the funniest things. Also, the director from the 7 movies or whatever being there on campus trying to cast people in the roles or whatever, and then Sam showing up and he's like, "This is what you don't do," and Sam's like, "Hold on, like I'm just gonna."
Sam immediately choked him out. No, what he did to Cricket, but actually helped Cricket, because I guarantee you next season she's not going to have to throw up. She's not going to have to eat.
So we see in this episode that she's able to shrink down without actually purging.
Yeah, it's probably just a mental thing. Or when she's purging, she probably goes in a mental state where she can either shrinks or... Wait, we don't know. She shrinks, and when she binges, it puts her...
Because I don't think we see her the rest of the episode. That's the last time we see her.
Yeah, that's the last time we see her.
I was honestly shocked about that she can actually grow. I didn't read the comics, so I was like, she can actually grow. I'm like, what the heck?
She's not in the comics.
She's not in the comics?
These characters for Gen V, they are created for...
Okay, cool.
Gen V is not a comic. Gen V is an original concept.
It was a general reaction of me being surprised that they went from small to giant.
But then we have all the stuff going on outside in campus, and when they call the helicopter in, Kate makes one of the supers from the school jump and break the helicopter, so that comes to the ground. Andre saves them. Obviously, Marie's out there trying to save everybody at that time. Ashley reaches out to Marie, is like, you can be on the 7 if you stop all of these fucking supers from killing people. But then we get the situation where when we get Maverick, which is Translucent Sun, trying to stop Marie, and the whole time that's going on, I'm like, can't you sense the V in his blood? Like,
I
feel like
I was about to say that until she actually did, and I was like, okay, there you go.
Yeah,
I did not put 2 and 2 together that was Translucent Sun.
Oh, you didn't?
I didn't put no. I'm talking about like till they said it in.
Yeah, I was like, I thought it was just another invisible dude.
I was not thinking about it.
So
I just thought he was a dude that liked to have sex with llamas.
I was like,
you did realize that Translucent also did some gross shit, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it's kind of like
I was kind of.
I mean, that makes sense.
He didn't have clothes because I was like, what the heck? He apparently he can't turn his clothes invisible.
No. Well, it's the same way it was with Translucent. Like they
even explain with Translucent. He has like some kind of weird diamond composite in his skin or whatever. That's how he can bend light around himself. It's
pretty much like a voiceover until you need the actor.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, come on, like think about this. He's probably just used to being invisible. Mm-hmm. So he doesn't even have clothes probably. Or if he does, he's got very little clothes because what point he's got a hat and a pair of glasses. That's all he wears.
So people can see him and say, hey, look, I'm over here.
Yeah. I don't know if you could ever trust a friend that has those kinds of powers. Like, think about if your friend could turn invisible, like I would have a tough time.
No, I'm going to your house and looking at you undressed. Now I'm going to laugh at your dick too.
You know what else was hilarious? Rufus trying to make a TikTok.
He's like, bro,
he has no rhythm. That's what made it funny.
Mm-hmm. He's like trying to dance.
He's trying to dance in Desperado.
He's off the words. He keeps having to restart it. I was like,
hey, bro.
Not only that, but he
like,
picked a really swaggy song too, and I'm like, you don't have this, man. Come on.
Like, I'm like, maybe it's like when they film dances and you really can't hear the music, but I'm like, no, he's really genuinely cannot get it. Like he's just like, damn it.
It would have been funny if he was doing the silhouette challenge from a couple years ago. That would have been hilarious.
But what made it more funny is who does a dance challenge while walking and holding the phone?
And out there with a bunch of people like that. Like, who does that?
Gen Zers.
Apparently. Gen Vers. Actually, Gen Vers do it is what it is.
That's what makes it. And then he had on like the really big headphones.
Yeah, I could totally see some kid doing that outside.
Shouldn't he be in pain though?
I am under the impression that they have some sort of healing person on campus because I have a feeling that whatever damage gets done to them, somebody can heal them. I do believe that's the case.
Because that makes me think Marie blowing up Kate's entire arm.
That's what I was going to get to next. So Marie like goes completely over the top and uses blood from everybody to stop this one teleporting person from getting to the helicopter. But then she also stops Kate from touching Jordan by blowing up her arm.
I thought she was going to get Jordan, and I'm like, oh my God.
I was like, it's going to be over.
Jordan is going to beat Marie's ass. That's the thing I said out loud. I said, Marie about to get an ass beat. He going to switch 100%. From girl to boy for each hit, and it's going to be over with.
So we'll see next season. Because Cody did say, and I knew this was confirmed, but I wasn't going to bring it up till we got here, is that the boys season 4 will have Sam and Kate, and it makes sense based on the way that
because what were you predicting? Like who's gonna die this season? Like which major character was gonna die this season? No one.
No one died. Yeah. So anyway, well, Shelly died. Shetty died.
No, Shetty, I mean, but, one of the main kids.
Yeah. Well, Golden Boy died.
Golden Boy was the first episode.
But yeah, so we have that happen. We're gonna have to see what happens with her arm, whether or not it heals up or whatever. Because I do have a feeling there is some healing. Super.
There did someone die. She got slit in the throat. The one that, her.
I mean, nobody cares about. Shetty got what was coming to her.
Yeah,
well, I mean, like she was like kind of like a main recurring character from the boys.
Yeah,
she is definitely a recurring character. Yeah.
So, but let's talk about the two big things that happened at the end. So we had Homelander finally show up because they called him
as usual.
Always. What kind of animal are you? What the fuck? The hell?
He said, she's like, sir, stay there.
Back up.
It's just his lip. His lip pisses me off. His lip or lack thereof. Is Anthony's lip like that for real, or does he just do that for the role?
I think it's like that for real.
I think it's a mix of both. He don't have any lips and that he just does that. It's just for the role.
He's just like stay there.
Yeah.
What kind of animal are you? Do this to your own. Oh my! That whole scene, I almost peed myself because I'm like, this is gonna be really, really bad. You see a white girl with an arm blown off. You see the black girl standing there, and then the Asian dude standing there. Homelander's literally blonde hair, blue eyes, doesn't care about anything, and this is the boys' universe where he is racism personified.
Yeah,
they're gonna die.
I will say this though: the finding out that they have framed all of the heroes.
Of course, there's the black girl, the Asian
mental ward, or what? Right? Go ahead.
The black girl, the Asian person, and
the black guy,
and the black guy. Yeah,
the black guy, the black girl, the Asian bi-gender superhero, and someone that binges and purges that's been on TikTok
and
YouTube. Yeah.
And then we got blonde girl and blonde dude as the heroes. I'm like, okay, yeah, just trash.
How did they get Cricket though? She was nowhere around. They had to go looking for her.
They had to find her, but still, this is the situation they're in now, and this is going to be the setup for season 2 with these characters, because I don't think any of the main cast that's in that room, I don't think we're going to see them in season 4 of The Boys, but we will see Kate and Sam, because they're being marketed as like the heroes of Godalkin. So I'm not really shocked about that. And then we had the end credit scene with Billy Butcher setting up the fact that he was listening in on the conversation. And this is going to follow through with the virus storyline. The Boys season 4 is going to follow up that virus storyline that didn't get answered in this season of Gen V. Overall, I loved the show. I love the whole season. I love all the characters. Was it the best written show I've ever watched? No. Was it the best special effects? No, I don't think the special effects were always perfect. Fun. But it was a good show, and I actually enjoyed this more than I did the last season of The Boys, personally.
Definitely better than season 2 of The Boys, because that was kind of one of the weaker ones. I did like in season 3, but this is actually, I think this trumps season 3.
I think season 3, the stuff with Soldier Boy and Black Noir were interesting, but I really, really preferred this over the last couple seasons of The Boys. I just want to see more of these characters. I feel like they're not tied to comic book storylines, which means you can do
so they can do whatever.
And I like that aspect of it. So I would say very successful season. I enjoyed it quite a bit, and I'm looking forward to the next season of The Boys. I hope they do more of those animated things. So did you guys watch the animated on Prime? So I hope they do more of those as well. All right, I have one announcement to make about the after party. We're going to do that in a second, but let's answer some super chats, and then we're going to wrap up the show for the day. We have a $5 super chat from the Big Bang Theory, Sheldor. Maria annoyed me being upset about Shetty dying after she said she'd kill all soups. Some of the writing confused me. How do you guys feel about that?
I think it was more just Marie just trying to be like empathetic and don't want to hurt anyone any more than they already are. I think that's kind of where it comes from. But I get what he's saying though.
I get it, but at the same time, you got to think about it as like she died in the same way that Marie's mom died.
Yeah, right, they probably triggered something.
And they wanted to do it the right way, as opposed to how Kate did it, basically causing a school-wide riot.
Yeah, that probably wasn't the best thing with best ways to handle that.
Especially since that kind of like reflects like real world things that happens at school sometimes. So it was true.
They even had that warning before
Marie wanted to avoid that. And now how did she take heat vision to the chest and survive?
Well, that's the thing is they made that comment though when they were in the room. They said you took it like a champ. I think there's something else there. I think maybe her power, maybe her ability, because we know Newman and her share the same abilities. So maybe her ability makes it so that heat vision can't heat up her body or something.
Cauterizes herself or like super healing, maybe.
Maybe
since she can control her blood, and she probably like clots really quickly, or who knows.
I thought it was kind of like weird that they like tried to give us sympathy because we found out that her family died on the plane, and that was the reason why she's trying to kill humans, and then she dies.
Yeah. Sheldor. Oh, I don't want any more spoilers in this. I'm playing it right now. I also beat Spider-Man 2. I loved it. I am about 5 or 6 hours into the game, so
I hear.
I forgot you're a PS5er. Oh, welcome to the club of PS5.
PS4 back there.
Yikes,
You need to
get
get a
out.
PS5 soon.
I don't fucking touch that thing. So I use my PC most of the time.
Lance is just like, get out. That's hilarious.
I got God of War 4 on here, not even Ragnarok, and I love God of War, but I haven't touched that.
That's a good game. You should
I
play
know.
that game
I
all the
don't
way
touch my
through.
PS4.
You
touch it.
If it was on PS4, if it was on my PC, I'd play it.
Touch
Hey,
it.
Anthony, how are you?
It wants to be touched.
I'm going to talk about that and the after party as soon as we're done with this final super chat here.
That's the
oh my
stuff.
god! Oh
That's
my
the
god!
stuff. Oh yeah.
Jeez. Oh no. He actually picked up the controller. That's something that annoys me when people are playing their PlayStation on TV shows and the controller is not on. I get so annoyed by that. I get so annoyed. I'm like, it's not even
going
on.
like this. I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
At the very least, just connect it to a PlayStation so that way the light comes on.
No, Disney is the 40-year-old version, and freaking Steve Carell's playing Doom with freaking flight sticks going like this and shit. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Well, the other thing is, like, I remember there was a promo for the Arrowverse where they had like all of them sitting on the couch playing the PlayStation, and none of the lights were on the controllers. That annoyed me so much. I can't even tell you.
Were the lights on in Superman and Lois when they were playing Injustice?
Yes, I think they were.
But that blows me because if there are no other superheroes on that earth,
we had this conversation already, Lance. We've talked about this already.
I'm just saying, like, I just thought about it, like, you should have planned that better, WB. Because now, who the hell was Superman fighting? Who are these made-up people?
I still had to laugh about
they were just trying to
whole
promote
phones, smartphones where you try to call someone and you don't. As soon as they do this, it should go like have some sort of when they pull it down, it should show the screen. It doesn't show the screen.
It never shows the screen. Yeah.
Or if they show the screen, it's still the call and they're waiting.
Yep.
You will be the one calling, but you're still waiting. It shows that you're the one waiting to answer.
Right. And they do it with iPhones and Androids. They do it with both of them. It's the same problem.
iPhones, it shows like it's an Android on the screen.
Yep.
That's what I like about flip phones. You can't see the screen. So
yeah. So Sheldon here with the $2 super chat. Will Loki be in Deadpool? What do we think? Loki and Deadpool, you think we'll see him or no? Because we know that Deadpool is going to be a multiversal storyline. So
I would be not surprised if he is.
Yeah, I'd be surprised, but not that surprised.
Yeah. Right.
I'll be like amazed, like, hey,
hey, there he is.
Okay, so a couple updates as far as Twitch goes. I've not given up on Twitch. I know a lot of people. I haven't been on there in like 2.5 weeks. I get it. So, I'm not sure what I want to do with Twitch. I want to do gaming over there and stuff because now I'm doing more of my shows over here, and Twitch allows you to multi-stream now without getting in trouble, which I think was a big problem before. So, it's an evolving thing. We're gonna revisit Twitch this upcoming, like not this weekend, but like this upcoming week. We're going to revisit Twitch, and I'll update everybody on what my plans are. But I haven't given up on it.
You can call me up, and I can run dungeons.
Well,
with you like
that's what I was thinking. Is like I think I'm going to do
did.
Gaming and chat, like playing a game, but also chatting with people.
I just been playing 14 by myself this entire time.
I'm fishing on 14. My goal is to catch every single rare fish before the expansion comes out. So that is my goal. I'm doing. I
just play dungeons with music I like. It's
like a fishing simulator. Does anybody else play fishing games? I play fishing games. I'm not a real big fisher in real life. Yeah, I love fishing games, so I'm not super surprised about that. Okay, big announcement about the after party. Some people kind of know about this. Some people don't know about it. I've really talked about it on stream or whatever. Next week is the finale for. Wait, is it next week or is it the week after?
Yeah, it's next week.
Next week is the finale. Okay. The finale of Loki will be the end of the after party until Superman and Lois comes back. So there will be no official after party streams between now and like a couple of weeks prior to Superman and Lois. So I'll probably start prepping up for that. However, that only means the branding is going away. So the after party will not be, because I'm doing this on podcast, so I can't, if I keep the after party going on a podcast and it's not a specific, we're not reviewing stuff specifically each week, it kind of muddies up the podcast. So the branding is going away. So this will not be the official after party on Saturdays. There will be a podcast on Saturdays. We'll be live on Saturdays, but it will not be the after party. So when you come in, I'll still be here. We'll still be talking about stuff, doing all the things we're doing, but the branding has to go away until like Superman and Lois comes back. If that makes any sense. Does that make sense to anybody?
Yep, it makes total sense.
Okay. So we'll still be doing our podcast on the weekends like we are right now. They just won't be branded as the after party. So before people freak out, like I'm not streaming anymore. That's not what I'm saying.
What are you doing?
It's the spinoff of the spinoff of the spinoff of Party Nation.
It's the after party. It's the after.
It's the not after party.
Yeah. So, well, no, we will be talking about Invincible. That's the thing is I want to talk about animated stuff. I want to talk about anime. I want to talk about other things. It doesn't really fit within the branding of the after party because the after party is more live action TV shows. And until we get more live action TV shows that we're going to be talking about, I don't want to do the podcast as the after party. So whatever comes back first, like, for example, if Creature Commandos comes out, I will talk about it on here, like I'm doing with Invincible, but that won't be like an after party. It'll just be another stream altogether. So yeah, it's going to be the same time. Look, the only thing that is changing is the branding. That's it. It just will not be called the after party because for podcast branding reasons, I can't keep that name and do random stuff. This was something that Paigey and I had already planned. Like this is something we had already planned to do like before the end of the year. So the whole thing was I needed to finish out the shows that we're talking about now before I shift that branding over. So this isn't something that's like coming out of nowhere. Like I've known this was going to be happening. I think I told Lance, maybe I don't remember, but I think I did tell you guys like a month ago that this is what the plan was. So this is not something that I just, I mean, I didn't think of this in the last minute, or whatever. Sheldor says, what about the before party? Well, that's kind of what Lance's stream is. Lance's stream is, the Party Nation comes out before a lot of the shows come on. So that's kind of what his is. Yep. So I have no clue yet.
I have an idea. I have a name.
Pitch an idea. Give me an idea now before we do so.
The tea with DJ Airrick.
The tea?
Yeah, the tea.
Well, this is not tea though. This is Dr. Pepper. This should be the Dr. Pepper with DJ Airrick.
So.
oh, Dr. Media.
Chilling.
Yeah.
Saturdays with Eric.
So
yeah, that works.
I've heard this, but I don't know if it's been confirmed or not. I've seen conflicting reports about Creature Commandos being pushed back to 2025. So I don't know if that's 100% true or not. So anyway, the other thing is there's a ton, and I didn't want to bring this up on stream because I didn't think it was appropriate, but maybe I'll do some sort of giveaway. Before Paigey disappeared from the face of the planet, so I have no idea where he is, I got an artist to make merch, animated versions of myself and Paigey for the rebranding of the show that I printed out t-shirts and hoodies. They're in the other room. Maybe I'll bring them in here one day and show them off for the after party. But since I don't know where the fuck Paigey is or what he's doing, I can't put those up for sale because it was a joint venture. Does that make sense? Like this was something that we did together. I don't want to be responsible for that. So what I might do is I might do giveaways, like maybe give away some of those items as like a prize or something while we're waiting for the shows to come back. So if you guys want like official merch, like after party merch with myself and Paigey as cartoon characters, I might do a giveaway like that. We'll see how it's going to work. But anyway, the after party is going away, but the podcast is not. It's just the name is changing, but the format and stuff will pretty much be the same. It is strictly because of the way YouTube categorizes podcasts and the way other platforms categorize podcasts. That is why it's happening. I know if you don't make podcasts, you will not understand that at all. But it is a issue with the way they format podcasts. So, and I'm going to do a video this week explaining everything about Paigey. Okay. Because everybody keeps asking me, and it's no offense to you guys, because I know everybody wants to know where he is. I don't know anything new. Paigey. Yeah, I know. It's funny. Yeah. But yeah. I don't know.
Did you just see that SAG released a statement on the deal that they were just offered?
Oh,
no, but let me look and see what it is.
It's a very vague statement, and it doesn't have me very optimistic.
Okay. Why am I not seeing it? Should be at like the top of my list usually.
Numerous studios effort.
Does somebody have it? They can share their screen, like,
yeah,
so we can read it. We'll do that last, and then I got to get off here because I got to work tonight.
oh, look at me! I got a job still.
I know. I got to pay bills. I got to go play music for 1,000 people. All right, here we go. All right, so we received an offer today from AMPTP, which they characterize as their God, why do they keep saying this? They've said this like the third time they've said this. Last, best, and final offer. We are reviewing it and considering our response with the context of the critical issues addressed in our proposal. So apparently, there's something in that offer that isn't being addressed. I'm gonna guess, if I had to go out on a limb, that it's something to do with streaming residuals, if I had to take a guess, because that seems to be the biggest problem. It was the problem with the writers as well. So
yeah, they said it had AI protections in this new thing. So I mean,
because they can't, because the laws have already determined you can't trademark or copyright AI. So I don't think the studios care about that anymore. I think it's more about streaming residuals, honestly. So
I heard that Scarlett Johansson is actually filing a lawsuit against the company for using AI against her permission.
Mm-hmm. Oops.
For magazines.
Right.
They were, but they didn't use her for like.
I'm processing what you just said to me. Okay, all right.
Scarlett Johansson is suing, filing a lawsuit for.
I did see that. Yes, that is true.
That's her image.
Yeah. All right.
So,
well, we'll see what's going to happen there.
They saying it also says, as always, unless it comes from your union, please don't believe any outside sources or rumors. With gratitude and in solidarity. I don't know. That doesn't sound too hopeful. I mean, they said it's the last one, and I honestly think they're getting to that November mark. They might actually say, like, the studios might say, okay, we're walking away from the table until January. I hope Fran and the Screen Actors Guild don't let it get to that. I understand that, this has to happen. The contracts have to be updated. I get all of that. Everybody deserves fair wages, but at some point, you got to learn to give a little.
Yeah.
I mean, the writers got what they wanted. The directors got what they wanted. It sounds like they're giving them what they want, but I mean, I don't know.
It was ending. It's not canceled. It's ending. It's a difference. Not canceled. It's too funny. All right. Last super chat before we wrap things up from Staggervore. Good to see you. Would you consider reviewing non-superhero DC shows like Sandman and Dead Boy Detectives? Well, the problem with Sandman is it was a binge show, and that's really hard to like do I don't like reviewing stuff like. I know some people do reactions where they react to every single episode. I don't like reviewing every single episode when something is a binge. So I might talk about it at the end. Dead Boy Detectives, is that still coming out?
Mm-hmm. Last time I heard.
On what platform?
On Netflix.
Is it? Oh, that's right. They moved it to Netflix. So it's going to be another drop then. They'll drop it all at one time, most likely. So,
I have also seen like some TV series dropping weekly.
Yeah.
But not much.
Well, Doom Patrol so far has been amazing. I know the finale is next week, I think.
I literally lost interest when they did the whole like time thing.
Yeah, no, a lot of people did. I don't know if the show's doing good numbers wise. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, Doom Patrol, I will be I'll talk about it. I'll do a video on it, or we'll do a live stream and talk about it at the end for anybody that did watch it. I know some people love it. It's to me, Doom Patrol is like Legends of Tomorrow. It's got a very niche audience that really loves it. And then a lot of the regular viewers just are not watching it. So yeah, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. So all right, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for joining us. And we will see everyone next time. Again, next week will be the finale for this year for the after party. So if you want to join in, and we'll talk about Loki. And we'll probably discuss Invincible episode 2 next week. But then after that, my Invincible streams will be a separate thing. Probably like not the after party, something else altogether. So
will you have Invincible artwork in the back?
Maybe I could.
Can you put
my
face on the put my face on Adam Eve's body so I can feel powerful?
We'll think about it. Bye.